You have the guys who have been out, Isaac, Donovan, Ty, and Dean recently, who returned to practice today.
Isaac and Donovan practice today.
Do you expect them to play tomorrow against the Lakers?
We'll see. Everything is how did we respond tomorrow to what happened today, so we'll see. Yeah.
What did you want to see from those guys specifically in practice?
Just how they can react at speed. If there's any hesitation, if there's anything that's lingering. But those guys have played so much basketball that it comes back pretty quickly.
When it comes to Isaac in particular, he missed a big stretch of last season with the same injury. Is there any kind of concern moving forward for the remainder of the season?
I'm apologize, but I'm not a doctor. I think it's something that we'll always be aware of and just kind of see how he's feeling. But he's feeling good now. We'll give him the opportunity to go out and play, and we'll just take it day by day.
What is the focus for this team coming off the loss against Miami the other night?
For me, you go back and watch the film of that game, and that's one of the ones that you toss. We came in, I think, physically exhausted, emotionally exhausted, and just couldn't find our rhythm. So, we had been playing really good basketball up to that point. So you throw that one out and just focus on the positive things that we had been building before that. And again, there was a lot of them. The way we moved the ball, the way everybody was involved in the offense. You go back to the box score and you see, your two centers, so to speak, with 5 assists, and that's the type of stuff that we got to focus on. And then, obviously defensively, keep taking the challenges. I think J.A. has done a great job of stepping up and setting the tone defensively, having to guard some really good players, and everybody's kind of followed suit.
Concerning Craig, when Isaac come back, when Donovan come back, do you feel like he's earned a spot in the rotation overall?
He's earned an opportunity for sure. And again, I know, we're crowded at that spot, but, he's been a guy who you put him on the floor, you've given him opportunity, and he's helped us be a good basketball team and makes us a better team. So it's hard to not have a guy like that on the floor.
And then just when teams start seeing it coming now with him, how do you anticipate them adjusting to his game and, just from knowing him, how he'll respond to that?
I think he'll figure it out. I think that's what he does. He's the type of guy who, you put different things in front of him and he doesn't just keep running into it, right? He's the type of guy who's cerebral and sees it and works his way around it and is able to make adjustments, always staying within, his game and who he is. But he takes challenges. He wouldn't be here if he didn't. And I think that's the thing that, has allowed him to overcome so many different things, is because he has the ability to fight through adversity and overcome obstacles.
You mentioned about a week ago that you wanted to see Craig and Darius together in the backcourt, and that was the starting backcourt the other night against Miami. What kinds of things are you looking for with that twosome that lets you know it's a viable pairing?
You just want to see if, how they help each other, how they make each other's jobs easier.
What do you think of the pairing so far?
I think it's good. Again, I think there's, opportunity to allow Darius to run a little more freely on the offensive end of the floor, and Craig does a good job of finding him. You can use Darius's gravity and spacing to open up the floor. And vice versa. Craig, as a secondary ball handler, is really good at attacking as well when defenses have to shift and don't just have their eyes on him. So I think offensively it's been good, and defensively they're working our system. Craig does a really good job of moving his feet and keeping guys in front of him and challenging shots late. And obviously Darius, is ingrained in our system as well. So I think so far so good.
Doesn't it Darius seem like they're just a month apart? Darius has been year 5. They're literally 1 month apart.
Yeah, and that's crazy to think about. But it's the new. I don't know if it's the reality that you're looking at, just going through the guys who were in college with COVID, and those types of things gave everybody that extra time. So you're kind of seeing those older guys come through the draft process. But I think from a maturity standpoint, like you see Craig as a mature guy. He's not a guy who you see as a rookie. So it's odd, but it's the reality of it.
I noticed tape on Darius' right finger. Is there any concern with that long term? Is just precaution?
No, he's he puts his hands in a lot of actions, and he's driving and things like that, and just is taking some smacks to it. So, again, no expectations of any problems, but obviously we always take care of our guys.
And you had mentioned that we lost Miami. You really just wanted to focus on like you take the day off and Thanksgiving. How important was it just to kind of have that day away? Just I'm sure you're still thinking about basketball, but maybe not really like have it on the front of your mind.
Yeah, it's for all of us. Like, our jobs are extremely difficult mentally and physically because of what we go through. So any opportunity you have to kind of take a step back and kind of revisit your priorities is a good day. And I think that's what Thanksgiving is all about. And, again, you have a game like Philly that leads into a game like Miami where emotions are high and low and there's that roller coaster. Like, everybody needs a day to just reset. And I think that was a great opportunity. Hopefully guys got to spend time with their families and those types of things. Came back today, work, and then we'll go, get the Lakers tomorrow.
On his reset day, Harris was out within Thanksgiving dinners to those that aren't as fortunate. What does that say about who he is?
He's just an awesome dude. And, whether it's the basketball stuff that we've talked about, his willingness to adapt and do whatever the team needs him to do, that doesn't come from, a bad person, right? Like, really good people are willing to sacrifice and do whatever the team needs. And Karras is a really good person who wants to see, everybody succeed, and, giving back to those who don't have is just a part of his makeup. And again, I can't say enough positive things about the type of person Karras is.
JB, you mentioned the Lakers with LeBron. How do you define greatness?
It's easy to see, tough to explain, if that makes sense, because greatness is more than an individual basketball trait. There are a lot of good players in the NBA who can score points, who can rebound, who can pass, who can impact a game. There are very few players who have the magnitude and the ability to change and carry franchises and organizations to a championship level. And that's what he's proven to be able to do everywhere that he's been.
How do you game plan for that?
I think that's beyond game planning for you go out and you try to make his job as difficult as you possibly can. What his strengths are, what his objective is on a day-to-day basis and a game-by-game basis. And our responsibility is just to make that as tough as possible. Again, easier said than done, but, you want to try to frustrate him by not giving him his first option. You want to make him have to send his team to their second, third, fourth option and see, how good they are at that. But, and again, on an individual grand scheme, it's hard to, game plan for, the greatness. You just focus on the basketball.
Are you surprised he's that dominant at 38 still?
He keeps proving us, that he can do it. So it doesn't seem surprising anymore. I think at 35 we were surprised. Now it's like, this is just what he does. So, as a basketball fan and someone who loves the game, and coaches and wants to see players get better, there's no better role model for guys to have in front of them, from taking care of your body, putting in the work, eating the right way, playing the game the right way. So, I think he's great for the game of basketball.